with folks like this, I learned in life early on, you have to use diplomacy.
Yeah.
You have to talk to them on their level and in an attitude or a vernacular the way they would understand it.
Yeah.
Now, I speak rough, my voice is raspy, and it sounds mean all the time because it's just the sound of my voice. My face is the way my face looks. It doesn't mean I'm angry or upset. It's because I have an angry look on my face. This is my face. It's not a mask. I can't take it off. And that's all I had to say about that issue for now.
Yeah. Because I was complimenting you on how there's some people in your life that I can tell you're very diplomatic with them, and I wanted to say, like, you do a lot of, you're very kind to them.
Yeah, I like I said, I learned through experiences in life. I didn't make it to 60 being stupid.
Yeah.
I made it to 60 using diplomacy.
It takes a lot of intelligence to know, like, you might be upset with somebody, but you have to be kind to them as well.
Well, yeah.
Because fighting them is just going to make a big mess.
Here's what I figured out with intelligence. Majority of human beings on this earth use 10% of their brain.
Yeah.
I like to believe that I use 11%.
Nah.
And that 1% makes me more intelligent than everybody else.
I like that.
These are little stupid things I think of.
Yeah.
But I'm being mistreated in the past. You know, you don't like the feeling.
Mm-hmm.
So you try not to mistreat people that you come across that don't understand it yet.
That's a self-awareness that I think, well, I have certain people that I'm thinking of that I deal with in the town that I don't think they've learned that yet, which is scary.
Right, because some people go all through 80 years of life never learning that.
And some of the people that are like that, I think, well, they're in positions of power. And
well, your ultimate power is a really
yeah.
double-edged sword because you think you're untouchable.
Woo! Smoke's going towards me now.
I can't breathe anyway, so the smoke don't bother me.
You know, I've been doing a thing on my second channel. You might maybe have seen it, where I started interviewing people around town just to get their out of context thoughts on random things.
No.
And so, like, this will be episode 2. We're just talking about dealing with people that are around us, and I think that's a short and sweet little episode.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So thank you so much for being.
I'm happy. I'm really happy to meet you. That I met you.
Oh, thank you.
Because not only does it give me a friend where I have no friends, just people, just people I see. Most people don't even look up and give you eye contact no more.
I hope I can be like an introduction too, right? You can meet other people around town.
That would be nice.
Because everybody can just be like, hey, there's Butch.
Yeah.
He's
oh, that's the old man that's retired.
I mean, you're
retired junk collector.
They should look at you like Curly from the Three Stooges, where you're like lovable.
Yeah.
Not like you're mean or anything like that.
Right, exactly. See, people, that's what I said about the facial expression, about the attitude, the vernacular that I use when I speak. People always take it as aggressive. It's not necessarily aggressive. It's just the way I grew up in the neighborhood I grew up in.
It's a bit old-fashioned too.
Yeah, that's. I was just about to say that. It was all,
I find it charming.
All elderly people. Thank you.
I find it very charming.
Thank you.
Because it's well, it's a part of America that you don't see too much in the younger generation.
Well, it's gone.
Yeah.
Not that you don't see it. Americans have gotten so soft.
Yeah.
Over the past 30 years. And it's sad to see it. Like, what happened? What happened to that go get you attitude? Go get it attitude.
Yeah.
Like, they have no motivation. I mean, if you walk down Baltimore or down Lansdowne, majority of the people are looking down at their cellular device.
Yeah.
Now, I got a really cool telephone. I got one of those Z-Fold flip phones.
Oh, you do? Yeah, you do. I've seen it.
And it's really cool and everything.
But you're not on it all the time.
But when my telephone becomes easier and better to take photographs with, it's no longer a telephone. It's the thing we used to call cameras back in the olden days.
Yeah.
You know?
So one thing that I think about is I recall a lot of my family members in the past, they were very poor, but they kept their house clean, and it was like a graceful poor.
Yeah, well,
and to kind of bring up other conversations that we've had off camera, we know some people that they've had very messy houses, and I've lived through that.
I've lived through that. To come to this beautiful house, this house is built in 1885. to see the 6 or 7 people that were living in here just shitting on it.
That's a shame.
You know, nobody gave enough to even sweep the floors.
Yeah.
No, I come from a background where my grandmom taught me you don't have to be rich, you don't have to have fancy to keep it nice, to keep it clean.
Yeah.
You know?
You can be poor but still be clean.
Exactly.
Now actually, the other day I was going to say, like, isn't it funny how when you're poor nowadays you have a lot of stuff?
Yeah.
Like you have scrap metal and stuff
Right.
like rich people, they'll have like a laptop and a big bank account and that's it. And they'll live in like this all white room.
And they call it minimalist.
Yeah.
They love gray and black. I don't understand why you would want to.
But now to be poor is kind of to have too much stuff. Like I have a building filled with stuff because, well, I'm afraid of getting rid of a space heater because it's worth $30, you know?
But then again, that $30 space heater that somebody can afford, that you had that may want to purchase it, can't afford the $90.
Yep. That's one of those things where it's also kind of circular too, where I can help them with it too. But I just think about that a lot, where it's it takes a certain discipline to be poor, but then also like you clean still. It's good, like just because you don't have a bunch of money doesn't mean you can't clean.
Well, let's look at it this way. People think about it as, oh, they're uneducated, they're poor, they're this, they're that. Okay, so I had the privilege of quitting school in 8th grade. I think I was 14 years old. I went to work. I started unloading train cars. I worked very hard. Young people today work 4 hours in a department store as a cashier, and they cry that their feet hurt.
Yeah.
4 hours a day. Do you realize how many of their work days I worked in one day?
Yeah.
On an average of 16 hours a day. I was working 2 full-time jobs in one day.
One thing I think is almost kind of counterintuitive, yet it makes sense. I feel like whenever I do a full day of yard work or roofing work, it's like I don't have enough energy to be sad.
Right.
And so something about I feel like lazy jobs make you lazy.
Well, I think the pain of work makes you appreciate it.
That's the inverse of that too. Yeah, because
you know.
I think a lot of these people, I know some people that were in in office jobs and they went to doing construction and they love it. Certain people, you need to be able to be doing a bunch of stuff in your day instead of just sitting at a computer confined to a cubicle.
Well, I was a local truck driver for 42 years, and the job was so rewarding.
Yeah.
In my truck 3 o'clock in the morning, don't get out of the truck till 5:30 at night.
Yeah.
You know, it was a hard ride, but it was very rewarding knowing that I was part of the community, helping the community, supplying grocery stores, supplying bakeries, supplying restaurants, delivering something nice for people.
What decades did you work? 70s and 80s?
I worked
90s?
from 1981, my first real full-time job, paid taxes and everything. I was 16 years old with a company called Esposito Meats in 9th Street in the Italian Market. I started working there full-time. I learned how to break beef first. So I was basically shipping and receiving, labor, and cleanup. All in a 12-hour day.
We should probably one of these days we should go on a tour where we do a video about you talk about like stuff in Philadelphia that you remember and things that have changed.
Oh,
that would be so cool.
It's so different from Baltimore Avenue.
Yeah.
Just from Baltimore Avenue. Yeah. I learned how to drive a truck when I started driving a truck. I started working full time in 1981. I worked from 1981 to 2015. I fell down the steps.
Yeah.
I hurt my back and I couldn't drive a truck no more. But I started my own little businesses after that. But during the 80s, it was great. I started driving a truck, and Delaware County was my Wednesday run, and I loved it. It was still farms out here. There was horse farms.
Yeah.
Out towards Kennett Square.
Yeah.
All those McMansions weren't there. It was farms and fields and horses and wildlife. Even around here, this was so different.
I think my phone might be running out of storage pretty soon, but we're probably gonna have to pick your brain sometime and do a video where we look down certain roads and be like, what changed, and we look at old pictures and just see where things are going.
I would love to get photos of this area, and if the library has them or something.
Yeah.
I would love to see what this looked like 1890, 1920, 1950.
Cool. Thank you so much for being interview number 2.
You're welcome.
You're such a good spirit in town, and I wanted to thank you for
Thank
being
you.
on the channel.